So welcome to this week's Sandpile. This week we're going to have Alex and Scott from Synergy 8 give us a presentation of what Synergy 8 looks like, talk about it, and try and answer whatever questions you have. So throw your questions in the chat. We'll try and watch that and make sure they get answered. And there should be lots of time. So with that, I'll pass it off to Alex and Scott.
No worries, thanks, Dave. So yeah, Alex from Synergy 8 and the founder, Scott. What we're going to do is we'll walk through a really quick sales demo of Synergy 8 so you can see how we normally sell this to our customers. And then we'll jump in and show you very quickly the templating language and how that works. Have a bit of a look at some of our marketing features, which normally get BC partners pretty excited. And then we'll answer any of your questions, I'm sure, as well. So I guess the sales pitch for Synergy 8 is that we're trying to bring together the main features that you would need to run digital marketing. So main features for running website, growing a customer database, doing marketing to that database, and then online sales as well. So we mostly work with small and medium established businesses, the ones that are trying to do more with digital. So want to post more content to the website and do more email marketing campaigns and that type of thing, and really kind of get something more out of digital. Those are kind of the ideal customers that we normally work with. So
I probably should make clear that Synergy 8 is not really a website builder. So I think in the market you've got a lot of tools for micro businesses that will allow you to quickly set up like a brochure site with a drag and drop Wix type editor. Synergy 8 is more of an actual full CMS where you can code full HTML documents in it and do a lot of cool logic and has quite a strong templating language built in behind it as well.
So I guess when you log into the dashboard, this is what you'll be looking at. So we have on the left-hand side a component for updating the website pages, posting articles and content out to the website, and then seeing where the traffic's coming from. We've then got a customer database that sits central as well. So whenever someone fills out web forms or RSVPs for an event or purchases something, those contacts will be in the database and it'll start to grow over time. We've then got a suite of marketing tools for advertising to that database via email, SMS, automated workflows, and we've also got a social posting tool as well to facilitate that workflow of, I've just posted updates out to the website, now I want to share out to social media and maybe do an email campaign as well. We've then got a full e-commerce suite for selling products online. It's fairly flexible with what it can do. So the cases that we normally see is, small retail operations running an online store of products through to not-for-profits running donations, people running memberships, that type of thing. So it's pretty flexible with what you can make our e-commerce engine side of things do. When you log in, we'll show you an overview of how all those things are working together. So you can see website traffic to sales that are happening either online in the commerce side of Synergy 8, or if you've got your accounting software connected, it'll show you the sales that are coming in through, invoicing through Xero or MYOB or your accounting suite. We've then got, the number of new contacts on the database as well. So this is pretty cool to see the effect that an email marketing campaign has on, website traffic and sales coming in and new contacts on the database over time. You can also add your own annotations to this timeline as well if you want to show clients that you just updated the website design and stuff, for example. So jumping into the website side of things, we've got website design templates. So this is where you define the CSS and JavaScript and PHP that makes up your website and defines the overarching theme. So you've got website design template in here, and you've got the same thing with email marketing templates as well. I'll come back and we'll have a bit more of a look under the hood at our tag language and how to put one of those design templates together. What you do need to know is that within that design template, you define all your CSS rules and things, and somewhere you specify where the client has the ability to edit, so where the editable page area is. And that is where the client will come in and update the page content on their website. So we have a bit of a sitemap structure here of the home page, and I've got an about page and that type of thing. I can create new pages pretty easily, clone pages around. We normally have this pages structure directly reflect the navigation menus on the public website as well. So if the client wants to rearrange the order of the navigation menu, there's a click and drag system to rearrange those. If I jump in and click the home page or the About Us page, it'll open the page editor. So this is an example site that I'll show off our page editor a little bit. We've spent the last few years developing our own custom page editor. I'm very proud of it. It's been a lot of R&D, and it went live probably only a month ago. So yeah, we're still building awesome new drag and drop features and stuff on top of that. But yeah, we're pretty proud of how it's ended up. So it will basically allow the clients to come in here and make really simple, easy, quick updates to the website over time. If I wanted to do things maybe like insert a YouTube video, for example, I'll go to the insert panel here and I can upload media from my computer. I can maybe drag and drop like a YouTube video in, for example. So after dragging that in, instead of going over to YouTube to find the embed code, I can just search straight from here, and it'll bring up all of the videos that we've found here. We've also got a pretty cool row column system built into this as well. So if I wanted to insert a bit of a row column layout, obviously trying to move people away from building layout with tables, we've got our own row column system in there. It's based on Flex and pretty usable across no matter what website design template you're using, so that people can create responsive layouts and things themselves. Under the scenes, I guess, this is where I'd probably normally move on with direct customers, but with reseller partners, what we actually have here as well is a split source view. So this will split the screen between a visual, what you see is what you get editor, and the source code underneath it. So we've got selection synchronization going here between what you see is what you get elements and the source code as well. And I can update either of those and see those changes reflected in real time between both. You've also got the ability to jump in and maybe I want to add some CSS specifically for this page rather than something that would go in the design template. I can do that. So I might come in here and go, I want all heading 1s and heading 2s to be red. And you can see those type of changes, reflected immediately. I can also do the same thing with JavaScript and PHP in the page as well. As far as, we've also got another couple of pretty cool things if you're using Bootstrap. So we've got, as you can see, we've got standard Bootstrap classes in here for doing rows and columns. So after I've put this in via source, I can actually come in and resize those rows and columns, and that'll update the class names and stuff properly as well. So we're working on some pretty cool things there too. In addition to that source side of things, on every page I have the ability to come in and specify search engine keywords and description with a bit of a preview of how that'll actually look, once it's indexed properly in Google. I'm going to answer a couple of really quick questions, I think, while I'm in here. Can I use the Foundation framework or a custom version of the Foundation framework? You can actually use whatever you please. So I had a bit of a play around with Foundation the other day after a couple of VC partners asked about it. It works totally fine. So yeah, the way that the design side of Synergy 8 has been implemented is pretty compatible with most of the CSS frameworks that you'll be playing around with. Our posts, we'll come back to the question about the posts and web app side of things as well when I look at that. So,
just on the note of Foundation, yes, we do support Foundation in terms of you can use it, but the editor won't pick up and identify the row columns and things like that. So you won't get that kind of nice Bootstrap editing, functionality that you get with Bootstrap.
I think if the client was to drop in like our row columns with the drag and drop thing, that would work totally fine though. I guess as a designer on Synergy 8 as well, you have the ability to specify which parts are editable. So you would specify maybe the client can only edit this one section in the design rather than play around with all those different Foundation classes too. On each page, you have the ability to do secure areas. So I might say this page, for example, is only visible to contacts who meet a certain set of conditions, where those conditions can be things like they have to be in a certain group of the database, they have to have purchased a product in the past, they have to have clicked a link or filled out a form or something along those lines. This gets pretty cool with our automation side of things. So you might say something like, when someone fills out a form on the website, I'm going to put them automatically in this group. being in that group gives you access to be able to log in and view these pages. So it's pretty easy to set that sort of stuff up with Synergy 8 as well.
Does anyone have any questions on that sort of page editing side of things?
Let me just have a quick look at chat. Is this platform self-hosted, or do I need to upload it to a hosting service? So Synergy 8's a hosted solution. So you'll be uploading your media and designs and things into Synergy 8.
So it's a software as a service product like Business Catalyst. Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
You guys rock.
So yeah, okay. So that's the page editing side of things. The next section we'll have a look at is posts. So a post in Synergy 8 is basically an image, a title, and a short teaser. So if we look on the front-facing side of things, what the public would normally see is, a blog display is the most common use for posts. So here's the post image, title, short teaser. As a developer, I have the ability to specify, exactly how that repeatable layout looks and, what code goes into that. And we give non-technical users the ability to select from like a couple of standard generic kind of displays that we've set up. So something pretty cool that we can do with Synergy 8 is extend posts out with custom fields. So custom fields can be put on anything in Synergy 8. You can add custom fields to pages to give the user a couple of extra options when they're editing a page. Maybe in the scenario of posts, I might have a gallery display, for example, where I want posts to have, like I want to set up a website gallery where people have an image and that's got a title and a bit of a description about it. I would probably use posts to do something like that. The other thing that I can do there is if I have maybe a website where I'm listing properties. So I might have properties listed in a display kind of like this on the website, but I also need properties to have a price. So I want the user to be able to come in and say, okay, when I'm editing this post, I want there to be a price field as well. So obviously that's not a standard Synergy 8 thing. So I would come into posts, go custom fields. Then I have the ability to put, those custom fields on things. So you basically give a custom field a label. So in this case, it would be price, put a bit of a description on there to help the user fill it out. And then you've got the ability to specify from, quite a different number of data types, like yes or no, or maybe you want it as a combo box and that type of thing. So that the user can, put some extra details on those posts that you can then add in the front end if you need to display it. And then as you can see, when I edit this post here, I've got, the price in there as well, which is a custom field. So you can stick those custom fields on contacts is another pretty common one. So if you need extra fields on contact records, that's really easy to do. Same with posts and pages side of things as well. As far as the, so I'm going to ask Bruce's question. Can image upload be a document upload, e.g. PDFs and things? Yes, it can. That's fine.
We might quickly go into that. So just go to pages and edit one.
Let's come back to it. I think I had one open, don't I? There we go.
So if you select a little bit of text, for instance, and go link up the top, you can link to a file or PDF, and then either browse media or upload a file so that you can link to that PDF. Or alternatively, if you browse the media, you can upload whatever type of file you want, whether it be a PDF or an image, and then you can drag and drop that into the page as well.
To give a bit of a background about how while we're doing this, I think giving a bit of a background on media works. So Synergy 8's accounts basically have one big media folder that's automatically sorted into things like website pages, website posts, designs, products, that sort of thing. And this will, this is, I guess, aware of the context that you're in currently. So if you're editing a page, for example, the media folder will auto navigate itself to whatever page you're editing, a folder that represents whatever page you're editing. And the same for design templates as well. So pretty standard thing is you'll have a design template that'll have folders for like CSS, JavaScript, and maybe images. You can upload those folders as a zip file if you want, and then unzip them in the media folder side of things here. And then, yeah, when a client's editing pages and things like that, your media folders will stay nice and clean because they'll be uploading into the right place on the site as well. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we have another question here. Do you have the ability to code custom templates from scratch versus starting with a template? Yep, hell yeah. Definitely keen to see heaps of that. So if you've got like HTML templates that you normally work with, upload them into Synergy 8, put a couple of custom tags on there for navigation and forms and things, and you'll be rocking. So that's quite easy to do as a developer as well.
For creating a design, you've basically got full control from the start HTML tag through to the end HTML tag. You can put whatever code that you want in there, and then you just mark the areas as content regions for where you want the customer to create pages, and then yeah, they can just basically go and fill in the content for each page.
So yeah, that's the page editing side of things and how posts work. Something else that's pretty cool with posts, we're trying to get the, I guess, content marketing workflow really nice with Synergy 8. So one of the benefits of having all of these different, I guess, tools for digital marketing in the same place is that when I want to run, I want to update some posts on the website, I can go quickly into posts. I can say, yep, I'll get this article out to my website. You can then come down to social media here as well and share those posts and updates out to your Facebook feed and Twitter and LinkedIn and wherever else. When the end of the month comes along and you've been posting these updates to the site throughout the month, another pretty cool thing that our software lets you do is I might say, I've got a new email campaign that wants to go out. I'm going to do a newsletter with all those posts. So we actually let you generate your email newsletter based on posts that have gone throughout the month as well. And that'll, if I hit create email there, that'll drag all of those posts into a bit of an email template. Yep, so there's those posts there, ready to go. And I can, this is the same as the page editor, so I can come in and change and update this as I please as well. It's also pretty common that partners will pre-set up a couple of like templated messages ready to go for their clients that can then be cloned and copied around when they want to send offers and things like that out as well. We've got a spam analysis tool on the left for email campaigns. So this will help you optimize your campaign to get it through spam filters. So those will highlight all of the spam words, I guess, so that you can swap them out for something different. When you're done with your email marketing campaign, you'll hit next, and that will take you through to the send screen. So when I'm ready for my email campaign to go out, by default, it'll go out to all the contacts that are subscribed on the database. You can schedule it to send at a certain time if you want to as well. If you don't want the message to go out to all the contacts, you can select recipients here, and this will allow you to send a really targeted campaign based on any of the data that's in Synergy 8. So if you've got groups set up, you can send based to a specific group. Otherwise, I can send based on purchase history, interaction with email campaigns, form submissions, whether they've attended events with us in the past. There's quite a lot of different options there for, I guess, targeting marketing sends too.
I think I'm not a BC expert myself, but I think it was called custom reports in BC, where you could basically set up filters for segmenting your database. You can do that when you're sending an email campaign, and then also from the contacts area, you can filter your database as well to get a specific list of customers who have done something and not done something else or belong to a group, and you can basically segment it however you want.
Yeah. So this will give you the ability to export out a CSV if you wanted to of a specific list of customers. So yeah, after you've sent out your email campaign, you'll have some stats on how the send went. So standard email marketing KPIs. So we've got your open rate will tell you if you're sending at the right time of day and the right day of the week. Click statistics will show you engagement reporting. So this will let you know whether the content in your email marketing campaign is actually getting engaged with. So this basically will show a click overlay to show you how many times each one of the links in your campaign is being clicked. So if you're generating these newsletters based on posts, you can start to see what content's actually driving traffic through to the site and maybe what's not working so well. If an email bounces, we do a bit of bounce reporting here as well to let you know, why those accounts are bouncing so that you can quickly come in and update them. If you've got your accounting software or, one of our connected applications hooked up, that email address will be updated in that other application as well. So, yeah, taking the click statistics another step further. In addition to just showing the number of clicks that each one of these, I guess, posts generated, I can drill down and view a list of the contact records that clicked that link in the campaign. So what I can do here, you can export this data if you wanted to. So if I maybe wanted to export everyone that clicked this link into, something else, I can. Otherwise, what I can do is click on a contact record here. So this is the contact record display. So this will show you all the details for that contact. You can put them in groups really easily through this. As I said before, you can add custom fields to put more details on the contacts page as well if you need to. And you can see a really detailed activity feed of all the other interactions that you've had. So with the email marketing, you can start to see, okay, I've sent this email campaign out. You start to understand the actions that happened before that email send, and then afterwards. If I sent out an email campaign to get people to purchase something, for example, you'd actually be able to see, okay, they clicked a link in this email campaign, looked at these products, and then did follow through with a purchase. We also give you the ability to write things like admin notes, log of phone calls happened, and set a follow-up reminder task to get back in touch with someone as well. So a couple of light CRM features in there too. And yeah, you can get to contacts just straight through the contact screen if you want as well. So that's, I guess, manual broadcast sending with email marketing. We have a really similar setup with SMS marketing too. So the SMS marketing engine will allow you to send, the same, I guess, targeted campaigns to people. You can also, hook on to SMS marketing the same way that you can hook on email marketing too. So let's have a look at how automation works with Synergy 8. So this is all about automated workflows, I guess, here.
Alex, Dave here. Just maybe quickly, the questions are piling up a bit. I'll try and help.
Let's have a bit of a look here. Okay,
I can help you out here.
Okay,
so for the PDF uploads, you covered that as far as to a link. If you have a custom field that is a file upload, that works, right?
Yep. So you can stick a custom. So when you edit a post, so if you're doing it through posts, you can edit one of your posts and say, instead of this post linking to a page when someone clicks it on the website, I can opt to have it linked to a product in the e-commerce engine, a file that I upload, an external URL, whatever else there as well. With a custom side of things, if you were to set a custom field up on the page, you would then be able to set that custom field up to be a file upload so that people can edit the page, go into settings, and then upload a PDF like that. Otherwise, you can do it through media with that.
Cool. FTP or SFTP access, is that how we get files up there?
No. So basically with the media section, you really don't need to have FTP at all. FTP is kind of a bit insecure these days. I know SFTP has SSL over the top of it, but just generally not. We don't support it. There's not really the need for it, I guess.
Cool.
You can have the media section, and then basically select multiple files at once and upload them all at the same time. So it's not something that you'll miss.
I guess, most of what you would normally use FTP for, you would just use through the standard Synergy 8 platform to accomplish the same thing there.
Okay, then Ray asked, can the posts have a different custom field for different categories, or can we have multiple blogs?
Yeah, you can. So that's covered with post categories. So in addition to singular posts, you have the ability to define post categories here as well, which allows you to say, I want to grab all posts of category blog and display them on this page. There's no limit to the number of post categories that you can have on here. You have some options when you create post categories along the lines of you can create a bit of a tree. So maybe in the example of a blog, I have subcategories on my blog where I'll have a tree of blog and then, an additional category underneath it for the different, I guess, subcategories of my blog there. So that sort of stuff's, pretty easy for you to set up too.
Cool. What elements can be tagged as editable on a page? So you mentioned you mentioned that your end customers, you can say only this is editable. So
let's cover the design template side of things now. So working with this example that we've got on the Cole White template that we quite often use here. This is a Bootstrap 3 site. Pretty basic boilerplate type looking stuff. So what I've done here is, in this example, I've said that the editable region is basically everything on this page other than the header and the footer. Whereas if I go to the About page, only this section on the left-hand side here is actually editable by the client. This is pulling posts, and this is everything else. So let's have a look in the design template for how I accomplished that. So if I go back to designs here, this is the website design template that we've got. So I'll click on there to open it up. Most of the time when you're working with designs, you will open up that source view so that you can see, the HTML and what's going on here. So as you can see, I've just got a HTML document, a nice clean HTML document where I'm, grabbing Font Awesome and Bootstrap and using a Google font there as well. If I scroll down, you'll see that I've got some CSS defined in the head there. If I didn't want it in the head, I could also come over and put CSS in this CSS tab. And if I wanted to define my own JavaScript functions, I can stick it in here as well. Otherwise, I can put it in the HTML document if I want. And then the same goes for PHP functions too. Scrolling down in the website template past all of these CSS rules that I've got set up, you'll see that we've now got to the navigation menu up on the top. So I have, standard Bootstrap looking header in there. And then I have our first Synergy 8 tag. So this Synergy 8 tag, as you can see, the Synergy 8 tags that we've got in here basically extend to give you a little bit more power out of normal HTML tags. So same syntax. So I've got, an opening Synergy 8 tag here and a closing one. This is basically so the navigation tag will parse out an unordered list that reflects the page structure in the dashboard. So that basically gives your clients the ability to update the navigation menu and put new pages and things like that in there. Scrolling down a little bit further, I have another common Synergy 8 tag, which is our logic tag. So this basically says, this is basically a logic if statement that says, if the current page is the home page, I want to make everything on the home page editable. So that's just one big editable content region. And then I put most of the HTML that would go in the home page in the content of the home page rather than in the design template. Scrolling down a little bit further, to achieve that other layout that I showed you where only the region on the left is editable and then we've got the post display on the right in the sidebar, I've said else. So if the home page, make the whole thing editable. Else, if the current page is the blog page, I've defined this other layout here where the content region is, in a couple of divs worth of tags. So you don't just, pass page IDs into the logic. I can say something here like maybe if the current contact is in a certain group, I want to display a welcome message on my site. Maybe I want to grab all posts of a certain category and display here in a certain display potentially, or maybe I'm running a member directory where I want to say if the current page is the member directory page, display all contacts as directory listings, for example. So there's quite a lot of power and flexibility hidden away in the logic language of Synergy 8, and it is really nice to just be able to write logic straight into the HTML template here without I guess the learning curve for this is pretty easy as well once you get your head around how that works.
We've got a whole lot of API calls like that. So that one's checking if the current page is the home page. Some other common ones might be if the user is currently logged in, then show hi Alex or hi Scott. And then another one might be if they've got products in their shopping cart, for instance. You can do a whole lot of like little API calls with the if else's and then you can repeat over products and stuff like that as well.
We have a couple of pretty good questions that I might jump into the chat and cover now as well. So Barbara asked, can you grab the newest 5 posts on your blog to email out to your email list every week? Yes, you can. So you would code that into the basically into the email template that says grab all posts of category blog, and then you can send that email campaign probably out via automation, where I would say, maybe when someone submits a form on the website, fire off this email. I don't think we have an automation that will do a timed every month automatically send this thing yet.
I probably wouldn't recommend it actually. I don't know. I think probably the best way of doing it is literally using the tools in the like that are provided there, where you just create an email campaign. The latest blog posts will be listed there, so your top 5, and you just go tick, 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 tick. That'll open up the email campaign pre-filled with those blog posts, and then you can just customize it, and then it's like literally 2-3 clicks to send that message.
That's probably a good point. Hey, it's easy enough just to send them without needing an automation there to do it, and that kind of avoids the situation of accidentally sending a blog post that you didn't want to as well, maybe. So what else do we have? A question about SSL. So all Synergy 8 plans include an SSL certificate as well.
So it's completely automatic. Once your site goes live, it'll basically install a Let's Encrypt SSL certificate on it, and it'll have SSL out of the box straight away. And we enforce SSL as well. So the non-HTTP, the HTTP site will always redirect to the HTTPS.
Yeah, Jane from, sorry, Dave?
Well, I was just going to say, I misread her question. What she really wanted to know, so that she has clients with terms and conditions. So in that whole file upload thing, if I upload terms and conditions and then those change, can I replace that file so anything that was linked to it gets the new file, or do I need to relink things?
No, you can just upload a file with the same file name and it will replace it. You need to be careful of your cache these days doing that though, because with a couple of browser updates, that's gotten a little bit annoying having the same file name being cached. So with a little bit of care, like if you upload the same image, for example, with the same file name in the same location, the user's probably already cached that if it's a site that has a lot of traffic. So you'd have to wait for that cache flush to happen.
But generally, yes, the file will overwrite when you
to answer the question, yeah. Obviously, to get around that issue, the cache issue, I could change the file name to something else as well.
I think you were left off at 301 redirects was where you were.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe if you maybe we'll let Dave ask the questions.
I think so. Yeah, too.
Sure. So Megan asks, can the system handle 301 redirects?
Yes. So basically, this came up in our last webinar that we did. We don't give access to like a .ht access file, but instead what we do is inside the pages area, what you can do is come into the redirectors area here, and you can create a new redirector, which will go from an address to another address. So as an example, you might be going from page 1 to page 2. And then you just basically save that off and it would create that 301 redirector. But what's even cooler about our software is if you actually move a page from one location to another, it will basically create that redirector automatically for you. So if I came in here and I renamed this About Us page from About Us to like About, once I click rename there, it will actually create that 301 redirector from About Us to About automatically. Does that answer the question?
I believe it does. Yeah, that's super. Barry asked, I'm not sure if I understand exactly the question, but do you have templates as well as include files?
Okay, I think I know how to answer this actually. So with the design template side of things, so you can manually define displays in the website design template, I guess, if you wanted to set up a certain display for how posts look on a certain page. That's easily possible. You also have a central post display that you can come in here. So this is one that I've customized. But as I said before, Synergy 8 does ship with a couple of standard ones that you can use instead if you're a non-technical user. With the include templates, we basically have a logic. So if I go into like edit a page, for example, you can basically use tagging language to say, I want to include the content of a page. So I might say SS logic include. And then you can pass that a page ID where you have HTML on a certain page that you want to be included in another page. I believe that's what you're trying to do. Is that correct?
He actually clarified a little bit farther down where he says templates for homepage, subpage, etc. And I think you've answered that. So,
okay, cool.
Bruce asks about PHP server-side scripting.
Okay. Was there a specific question there, or is it like?
Can you do PHP server side scripting? I think is the question.
So I guess the answer there is yes, but it's probably a little bit different to how you would normally do it. So the use case for that in our software is normally if you have like a form or something like that, and you want it to basically execute something custom once that form is submitted. So as an example, you might have a form that basically invokes a PHP function on submission. I won't code all of that now because it'll probably take like, 15 minutes. And but what it would be is just basically you'd have in the front end a tag called SS forms form that would then have an attribute called on submit server equals. And then that would then fire a PHP function, which you would declare in the PHP tab here, called like, on submit. You could write whatever, PHP code you want in there that, goes and fires a webhook or something like that, whatever you want to do. You could, basically just execute whatever PHP and once that form submitted, and then it would, go to the success page.
Okay, I'm just going to, I believe it absolutely does. In fact, Bruce has confirmed that. I'll ask one more and then I want you to carry on because I want you to get through everything if possible. So Jane asks, can you bring your own SSL certificate?
At this stage, no. We're just using Let's Encrypt for it. It gets a little bit complex with certificate renewals and stuff when we allow people to use their own SSL certificates. Cool. We're just basically limiting it to just Let's Encrypt, and we just manage all of that for you.
Okay, I'll mark that. I'll mark where we are in the question thing. So carry on, and if there's time at the end, we'll answer the rest. If there's not, we'll figure something else out.
Adding another point that's come up with BC partners to that SSL issue or question as well. I know that when you use SSL on BC, sometimes it goes to like BC World Systems or something like that. With our software, it will be HTTPS yourwebsiteaddress.com.
And it stays on that once your site's live.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go to like World Secure Systems or like an alternative, address when the SSL is used.
Okay, so continuing down like the line of features, I guess, let's have a look at automation. So I kind of almost got there before and then went over the template. So the way automation works is you basically have an event trigger in our platform that triggers a follow-up set of workflow steps. So as an example here, I might say the trigger is going to be maybe when a sale is made, or when someone submits a form on my website, or when someone's added to a group potentially. There's quite a lot of different events that we can, I guess, hook onto here to make an automated event happen. Another question that happens with almost every single BC meeting that I do these days is you guys immediately jump to, can I put my own event triggers in there? The answer is no, but we should have covered everything, if that makes sense. Architecturally, how Synergy 8's kind of designed, whenever you enable a new app or we put a new feature in the software, we will push through a couple of extra, I guess, event triggers that you have to play around with. So most of what you would want to, if not all of what you would want to accomplish with automation, we should have already covered. So as an example here, I might say, whenever someone is added to let's go when a sale is made. So when a sale is made, maybe of a certain product. So you'll see that whenever you click on an event, there's always a couple of extra sub-events underneath it. So in this case, I might say when a sale is made of any product of at least $100. The first step I'm going to do is maybe I want to add them to a group. After that, I have another couple of workflow steps that I might define here. So I might say I want to send an email to the customer automatically, or maybe if the SMS marketing module is enabled, I might say I want to send them a text. So I might say, after that purchase is made, add them to this group and then send, this email to them. I'm then going to wait for a week and then I'm going to do a test. So the automation will continue if they have not purchased. Maybe there's a related product that I want them to grab. So if they haven't made that follow-up purchase, I'm going to send them a second email that has a discount code in it, for example. So it's really easy to set up, I guess, quick marketing workflows based on events and things that are happening in Synergy 8. So really common use cases is, from my automated marketing campaigns, onboarding as well. When someone submits a form on the website, send them an email, for example.
Drip campaigns.
Yeah, drip campaigns is another one. And you can be moving customers around in the group structure. So add or remove them based on their activity in there as well. So that's totally possible and easy to do too. After the automation side of things, we have an events module. So events is for facilitating RSVP. So if you've got a website where people are RSVPing for yet to attend events, this is our answer to that, I guess. It's an optional app on the rest of our software. So it'll basically power paid or unpaid events, and you can do invite only or public access events as well. So what I would normally do is hit create event, give my event a title, specify the time zone. I can restrict the event by attendees if I want. I can head over to RSVP options and say, it's an open public event. I'm going to allow people to bring along, 6 guests, and that'll say, when someone RSVPs, it'll say how many guests are you bringing, and you can toggle that on and it'll add those contacts into the database properly. I can also add new custom fields to the RSVP form. So if I want to ask things like dietary requirements, for example, you can add your own custom fields onto the events. And then you have the ability to charge for the event as well. So this basically links it to a product in the e-commerce engine. So under the RSVP form, there'll be a purchase form there so people can pay for the event too. That'll post an event up to the website that people can RSVP to. I can then come in to edit the event afterwards and see, who's attending, who's not attending. I can manually add attendees in there myself. When people RSVP for the event, it'll, have a proper link there that says add to iCal, add to Google Calendar, for example. You can print a list of name tags if you'd like. You can also export out a custom guest list and select what columns are on that custom guest list as well. Whether it's a PDF or a CSV file too, and who's attending. And we also have, it's a relatively new feature, but we have this reminders system as well. It's supposed to make it really easy to set up. Maybe when someone RSVPs for the event, I want a message to go out automatically, and then I want an automatic reminder to go out the day before the event. And then, that type of thing's really easy to, I guess, one-click setup to get going. So I want this to go out one day before the RSVP deadline. And then it's going to include a map, and you can customize that a little bit further if you'd like as well.
Just to be clear with this as well, with the event system, it's an optional app that can be installed. So not every client obviously will run events. So the way that would work, if you want that as a feature, you would come into here, into the apps area, and you would basically enable it. The events one is a free app. We do charge a little bit extra for the recurring sales app. I think it's 0.5%. But the events one is completely free to enable. And we've got a few other integrations and connections that we're going to be building out as well.
I guess that's the marketing component of our software. So Dave, is there anything that I need to cover really quickly in chat there?
Nothing in particular. I think the rest can wait. Because it's my own question, are the servers located just in Australia? Like, what about US or Canadian distribution for sites?
Yeah, so at this stage, we're just in Australia for hosting. We do have a lot of stuff to speed that up. Like we're running HTTP2 and Quick as well, which is going to reduce the load times quite a bit. We are going to set up some US infrastructure soon. But depending on how fast we grow, it's probably going to be 6-12 months, and we'll just basically move clients to that area as we expand into there.
We already have a good amount of clients in Europe as well now,
and in US as well. So it's something that we're gonna be looking at, but at this stage it is from a Australian data center.
Okay, carry on to the commerce because that's pretty interesting too.
Okay, cool. So so with Synergy 8 Commerce, you basically have a product catalog. So you have individual products, you have product categories for categorizing them up, and you have product brands. In addition to products, we also have a basic inventory management system for simple inventory management. So what I might have here is, this reflects a product catalog of a music store. Is this the example that we've got going here? But instead of a music store, I might have, donations with, a couple of different donation types. If I wanted to do it like that, I might have memberships and that type of thing. So I guess be a little bit, think about the different generic scenarios that the products can be, I guess, filed into when I go into the features here. So if I edit a product, it has a title, a price. I can tick it on to include, to be included in different categories on the website, upload a product icon. You also have the ability, if you're a little bit web development savvy, to upload multiple images and stuff for products. If you wanted to code like a slider on the front end display. And you can also put your product details in there as well. You also have additional attributes for products that might say things like, I can order this product for someone else, for example. And we have ordering options. So what I might say for ordering options is maybe when I look at this product, actually, let me find one that has ordering options on it. So this guitar pack will. So as an example, if I go view online, so with this guitar pack, I have, a different color that I can select, for example, and different sizes. So that's controlled through the ordering options side of things. So if I go into additional attributes for this product, you can see I've got, the option color with a couple of different items in here, and you can select them to, I guess, apply to different inventory items as well for the inventory management side of things. You can also restrict product visibility based on groups in the database as well. So maybe you set up an automation that says after you've purchased $1,000 worth of, a product, to put people in a certain group and then restrict it, to only be visible to that group. Another pretty cool update that we made a little while ago is you can override the page URI, so specify that address there, and update the search engine description and the keywords. We generate this for you automatically because not all users go in and actually do it. But if you do want to override those, it's really easy for you to come in and do that as well. And then, you can set maybe purchase of this product only decrements one inventory item, or maybe it's part of a pack where if someone buys this, it consists of multiple inventory items, or maybe doesn't need inventory tracking as well. So there's a couple of different options in there. Synergy 8 also has something I haven't talked about actually, is our changes version control system. So every save to a page, design, contact, everything is version controlled. So every transaction here, I can roll back to a previous version. If the client comes in and messes up a design template or a page or something, it can go in and you can undo those changes and see which administrator is responsible for them as well. So it's the product side of things. You've also got a lot of flexibility around discounts. So the discounts work off our conditions engine. So I might say, for example, here, I want to do a discount of a flat $50 off. Otherwise, maybe I want to do 20% off. You can set which products this discount will apply to, whether it's products, all products, or maybe only specific brands or a certain product. And then you can restrict who will receive this discount via the contact filter. So maybe I'll say I'll give 50% off to everyone who has clicked a link in an email campaign, for example, or everyone who attended an event last year. So that type of stuff's pretty easy to set up. You can also set up coupon codes if you want to, and specify a valid date. So if you want it to automatically, disable the discount at a certain time, that's possible too. Synergy has a full sales and invoicing engine. One of the big wins that we have as a product is our integration with accounting software. So all the sales invoices can synchronize two-way between Xero and MYOB accounting products. They're pretty big here in Australia and in New Zealand. We realized that we're probably going to have quite a few questions about accounting integrations in the US as time goes on as well.
We've had a lot of requests for QuickBooks Online. We don't have that yet, but it's probably going to come in the next year. So
We set a time.
Yeah.
So we know the QuickBooks team here in Australia really well. They're an awesome team. QuickBooks basically fired up a team over here a little while ago. And yeah, we've met them. They're really awesome to work with. And that's really important when software companies make an integration, that we get to know each other's products really well and build an awesome integration. So yeah, we have that. I guess we just got to get it done for you now. So yeah, the nice thing about the accounting integration is sales synchronized two-way, adjustments synchronized two-way, and contact synchronized two-way. So,
and all the payments as well. So if you're receiving if you're working with Xero, if you have an invoice and the customer pays via direct deposit, the invoice will push into the accounting software. And then when the bookkeeper does their, reconciliation of their bank account, they basically go, okay, I want to have this payment attached to this invoice inside their accounting software. They click that. Then within a couple of hours or so, Synergy 8 will actually pick that up, and that invoice will be paid in here and then ready to be shipped. So it's a complete, closed loop for the accounting software and the payments for, invoices that are done online.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the sales side of things. We also have an optional recurring sales app. So if you want to have people purchase something that signs them up to a recurring billing plan, that's possible. The normal payment gateway to facilitate that is Stripe as well. So that'll basically, I might have a membership form, for example, that creates a contact, puts them in a group called members, and then starts a recurring billing plan. So that's possible as well.
Okay, well, do you want to we'll answer some questions now, because that's probably a bit of a feature tour done. So
maybe just quickly talk about the cost of hosting and such.
Yeah. So Synergy 8 is more expensive than most of the other tools out there, but it's also 1,000 times more powerful. We do offer a pretty extensive suite of tools. All of our pricing at the moment is in Australian dollars, so that makes it about 77% or something of what a US dollar is. So yeah, we're currently just billing in AUD. We'll probably bill in USD at some point, but yeah, we're just not there yet.
Sounds scary. So with the pricing, we do it based on features that you're using. So we've got website and contact database is where our plans start at $49 a month. There's no limit on the number of contacts. You can have as many administrators in there as you please, and we've got two-factor authentication on those administrators as well. We start with basic web hosting of 5 gig storage and 10 gig of bandwidth. Immediately, I know that might seem a little bit small, but we give you plenty of tools on reporting on bandwidth to, if a client's use a really big file or something and you need to troubleshoot that. And a lot of reporting on where the storage is being used up as well. With the marketing features, that's an extra $50 a month. It includes up to 10,000 email sends per month as well. And then we've got commerce features for an additional $50 for a full price of $149 a month. All of the benefits of Synergy 8 really come in at $99 a month or $149 a month. So as far as a just $49 website and customer database side of things, it's not that competitive. It's normally the customers that are on $49 a month intend on growing into using email marketing and that type of thing. That's the only case that it would be used for. But yeah, the real value of our product is having, I guess, that one integrated place for doing email, contact management, web management, and commerce and that type of thing. So that's where you'll see most of Synergy 8 clients are on the $99 or $149 a month side of things as well. Something else that we'll probably, so actually, is there any other questions about pricing before I move on?
None that I've seen, which is interesting to me because that's usually a fairly significant question that people ask, but that was my question. It wasn't even in the questions. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, I guess for us as well. I know from some of the comments that I read on the Facebook page and things like that, some people are like, oh, it is quite expensive. But I guess, from our perspective, we're not really targeting, really micro businesses, but, more small, medium businesses. They should really be able to afford that. I don't think it's that expensive. The other thing as well is, we do want to, if we do have large clients that are using it a lot, they they really should be paying a little bit more as well. And in return, we'll be able to, pay you guys as partners more as well.
So we pay a higher commission to resellers than DC was. We also do, it's I guess a higher pricing tier means that we can put on good people. We have an awesome development team that I'm really proud of, and we've been so good about consistently pushing out features over the past 8 years or so.
We're not racing to the bottom on price. So
yeah,
cool.
So
just quickly, we're almost at the end of the hour. So if you could just let people know how they could get a question to you in the most appropriate way for you, and then we'll keep going for those that want to stay and have questions answered. That's fine, but I just want to respect folks. Usually expect this to be about an hour.
So I guess to tie off, if you have any questions at all, you can send Scott and I through an email at support@synergy8.com. Fill out our contact form and we'll see that. Otherwise, if you want more information on the reseller partner program side of things, go to our footer and there's a reseller program link in it. That has some information on our reseller agreement, what the commission levels that we pay clients are, and you can apply an automated process now to apply as a reseller. And this will basically give you access to the reseller panel, so you can create accounts and have a bit of a play around with it as well.
So and if you want to get to the demo account, it's just demo1.synergy8.com, and then the username is demo@synergy8.com, and the password's demo123.
And if you want to save that, it's basically a shared demo account. It doesn't have an expiry on it. People can't save and mess it up. Partners often use it to show clients the solution. So if you want those details as well, you can go to try a demo and fill out this form, and it automatically emails you the login details.
But you will be put into our CRM.
And I will follow you up.
Very cool. All right, so this is the end of the standard meeting. Again, I'm not shutting it down. I'm fine to stay on and answer questions, but just again, in respect, thanks very much for what you've given us so far, and for agreeing to stay on and answer some more questions.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks so much for having us. We really appreciate all the good things you guys are saying, and the fact that you're taking the time to get to know our solution and stuff does mean a lot. So thanks heaps for that.
Yeah, we're trying to really look after and support our partners. We are still fairly new in the market, so the partners that we do get, we're really trying to support them, because ultimately that'll help us grow as well. So well, thanks for having us, guys. We're going to stick around, answer more questions if you have any. So
there's lots. So I'll start reading them for you. So Adam asks, regarding logic and editing, would it be easy to show and hide a Bootstrap alert based on a URL parameter? So I'm assuming if you drop on a page with a URL parameter, can you show or hide a Bootstrap alert?
Yeah, so the code, that's a good question actually. So the code for that would basically look something like this: an SS logic if test equals $_get, and then the URL parameter.
Scott's a breathing API reference as well,
or whatever, and then you could
close that tag.
And then you would basically put div class equals alert.
Cool. Yeah, I think that answers it. You don't need to code the rest of it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Jane asks if you white label.
We do not. So the reason for that is we experimented with it in the past, and basically we had we had one partner in particular that was a little bit difficult to work with. They basically ended up closing their business, unfortunately, and they disappeared, and they left us with this weird situation where we had to go and pick up all of the pieces and contact all of their clients and try to work out a solution with them. And their clients had no idea who we even were. So I think just from a transparency perspective, it's just better for the client to know that we're, I guess, the platform behind the scenes.
Another note I want to add is that what we're trying to do here is build a awesome platform and an awesome brand that I want you guys to be proud of, saying that you're a Synergy 8 partner. I want it to be something that you would go to clients and say, oh, well, we're building this on Synergy 8. It's an awesome solution, and you can go check out the brand. They've got all these tutorial videos and stuff as well, and gets them excited because they know they're getting their site built on Synergy 8. That's kind of where I want to focus the energy and the direction, rather than, I guess, a white label solution. I know there are plenty of solutions out there that do white label, but I guess, I want to build a product that makes you proud to be using it, rather than something that's white labeled.
Nice. Adam asked you, could you set up a secure member area that would display users' invoices?
Yeah. Well, if you wanted to,
I wonder if this is Adam, like Adam that I've caught up with. I think it probably is.
If you wanted to do that, you would basically, I think that there's a public profile page. So if a user, once you go through the shopping cart checkout, there is a link which goes to the URL is /community profile. And that basically will allow a user to see their own profile and also their purchase history as well.
Right. So standard, like.
So there is a standard, I guess, profile form for that. But if you really wanted to get complicated with the API and stuff, you could make a secure page. And then once someone's logged into that, you could have a data repeater, which repeated over all of the invoices for that particular customer. So it would basically go SS data repeater, data source equals sales get all, and then that would get all for that customer, and then that would basically then list out every invoice that they have.
So the SS data repeater is another really common tag with Synergy 8. It's basically our answer to a for loop. So in the example here, I've said I've got an SS data repeater that's grabbing all posts of category 1, which is the ID of the post category, and using the standard post display that I showed you before to display those. But I could, type in my own custom display and reference post if I wanted to do something custom there. So.
Nice. One question that came up earlier that I think I glossed over was someone wanted to know roughly how many tags you need to learn for Synergy 8. Like, is it 10, 100, 1,000?
It depends on how deep and complex you want to go. So we have a fair few tags. So the main ones would be your navigation tag, your content region tag. If you want to get a little bit more complex, if and else. And then for posts, there's the repeater to repeat over posts. Once you learn them, it's pretty easy. But we do have a fair few other, I guess, tags for different things as well, like breadcrumb navigation and secondary navigation sidebars and things like that as well. To be totally honest, our documentation for that needs a big review, and that's something we're going to be really focusing on over the next couple of months.
So it sounds to me like you got about 10 core ones you need to learn, and then there's a larger number of specific use case tags you need to learn, right?
We fully intend on doing more tutorials on how to do this, but there is a web designer's guide on the Synergy 8 website as well that has a couple of tutorials on like how to set up a design template. There's a few articles that walk through the navigation menu and stuff. The articles are a little bit dated, so most of the examples are using like, I wrote most of these in like 2012. So like,
it's a little bit out there.
So like some of the examples, like implementing a responsive design, that probably uses like some older CSS framework or something. But if you walk through some of these, some of these articles, I know a couple of our new VC partners have, gotten most of what they need out of doing this stuff. And we're super approachable as well. So please email. We realize that the guides aren't as good as they could be. So please email like any questions, and we're happy to help you out as much as possible too.
Cool. Doug asks, does Synergy 8 have autoresponders with detailed content when registering for an event? So for example, a confirmation email with links and some detailed content is what he's adding.
Yes, it'll basically send out the event details. So like title of event, description, it'll show the location, all that kind of stuff, and a link to add it to your calendar as well. So it's pretty detailed in terms of the pre-templated response that it'll generate. Probably won't go too much into that now because it'll take a while.
Otherwise, you can't. It's a send condition. So you could code up whatever you want and then say, I want to send this to everyone who's RSVP'd for this event.
So it's an editable template that you can use as well. So it's pretty flexible.
My good buddy Joe Welburn asked, what might a typical migration process look like for a BC site moving it onto Synergy 8? Can you just kind of roughly describe that?
Yeah, so at the moment, it will basically be creating the design. So I don't know what you'd be using there, but maybe Foundation or whatever the case might be. You then have to go through and replace the navigation tag and mark where the content region is editable. And then from there, you would basically need to copy and paste all of the page content in. One good thing that's a bit of a shortcut is if there is a remotely hosted image that's being referenced to from the old website, we'll automatically download that and put it into the local media for you. So there is a little bit of a shortcut there that's happening. But yeah, we're actually thinking about creating some migration tools as well to assist with the process.
Cool. As a suggestion, I was just going to say, pick a site and record the process, and that's a great start.
I fully intend on doing a record session where I'm just going to be tasked with sitting down and implementing a Synergy 8 site, migrating it over, so you can see, how I work through most of the approaches and stuff that goes into a migration. That's fully something I'll be doing. I guess a really big question that probably does need to happen is don't migrate an old crappy site. It's an opportunity to get them in a new template. We have a library of a couple of templates for you to work with. So it's a good opportunity to say, we're rebranding, one of these templates. It's responsive. It works really well. And then, there's minimal work involved in, I guess, rebranding a really basic Synergy 8 site just to get the client migrated over, I guess, would be a better approach than having to spend time on something that's dated anyway. That was probably going to be my suggestion there.
I agree with that. Yeah. Doug asks, does inventory management support product variables? I think you answered this, but for example, single pack or box the same product. And I believe you answered that, right?
Yeah. So where our e-commerce, I guess, limitations start to come in is, so in answer to your question, yes, it does. But in, I guess, searching for where those limitations of our e-commerce module is, if you're doing multi-warehousing, so you've got to be shipping from multi-warehouse setups, that doesn't sound like a Synergy 8 e-commerce setup. That's kind of pushing the complexity barrier a little bit. As soon as you want multi-currency, that's not something that we support. So we support any currency, but there has to be one. So as soon as the client's asking about multi-currency again, that's I don't know if Synergy 8 will be a good fit. Otherwise, really complex inventory structures, huge catalogs of thousands of products where you need to synchronize that inventory management system with with another complex API or something like that. Again, probably not such an awesome fit for Synergy 8. We have had people that you can because of, I guess, the power that we give you, you can code your way around almost anything. But I would probably say that, those situations should be a flag that potentially Synergy 8 is not the ideal platform for those ones. But I mean, in saying that, the more basic e-commerce builds where you want that integration with marketing, Synergy 8's a killer solution. And those are the ones that really appreciate it.
Cool. Wholesale versus retail. So if someone is logged in, can you flag them as a wholesaler and show them different pricing from someone who is not flagged as a wholesaler?
How we would normally do that is we would have a wholesaler group and then apply discounts to that, to the users of that group. We don't have specific wholesaler pricing, but what you do is basically go new group and then be wholesale level A. And then, you would then create a series of discounts that basically apply to certain products and are restricted to the users of the group, wholesale level A.
Nice. And you could have multi-levels then of discount too. You could have wholesale level A, level B, level C. And again, you don't want to go too far down that road, because then you really should be looking at a full-on e-commerce platform, but some variation of that, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I guess with e-commerce, we like to do e-commerce, but there is a bit of a limit in terms of like if you're getting really sophisticated with multiple warehouses and thousands of product catalogs and complex inventory and shipping, that is just like enterprise level stuff. That's probably not our jam. But for most small medium businesses, our e-commerce is enough.
Nice. Can you drop ship products from a supplier?
We have had that sort of question come up. The answer is yes, but it probably would be a little bit manual in terms of how you deal with that going to the drop shipper. So I think some of the e-commerce solutions might have some complex, integrations where it might send the supplier a notification or something like that an order's been made and it's got automated fulfillment there. We don't have anything to support that, but certainly you could list your products and have them deal with the drop shipping in a manual sort of fashion.
Okay. Anything like a request for quote process versus paying at checkout? So put five items in a cart and get a quote.
I've coded my way around stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what I would normally do there is, this is recorded, so I can't actually show you. But the website basically has, I've stripped the pricing out of all of the products on the display. So the front end side of things doesn't display any pricing. And then I've put a custom field on the product to allow the administrators to upload a product brochure so that, customers can download a brochure for each one of those products if they want to. And then I've basically got it saying, so when you hit that, inquire button, it will pass you over to the contact inquiry form, where I've got a little bit of logic there to check whether they've been referred by that product page, and it like pre-fills, this is the product details, I'm getting in touch about this. Otherwise, you would be able to probably potentially build a shopping cart of, adding products to something and then have that email through to someone. My answer to that is you would be able to code your way around that, but you'd want to be charging for your time to do that because there will be some time.
It's not something that we have specifically like immediately out of the box, but you could definitely make some hacks in the templating to make that work.
Yeah.
Cool. Could you show quickly adding a form to a page?
Yeah, sure. We didn't cover that, so that's fine. This is covered in the designer guide side of things pretty well, actually. So if you go to forms and then go basic contact forms, this is not a bad way to illustrate it. So basically this is what normal HTML form tags are replaced with our SS forms tag. So you give a form an ID. I want the form redirecting the user to this page when they submit the form. I've then got an automatic email that is being sent to the administrators with the website inquiry subject in it. And this is the alert email that it's getting sent to. So you have the ability to specify like multiple ones in there if you wanted to as well. I've then got forms row. This is an optional layout element that will just lay out the form nicely for you. You could just use, like, if you're using Foundation or Bootstrap, I think those frameworks have HTML, structures in them that would replace our rows if you wanted to. So that's up to you. But then you've got, our edit boxes where I've got the contact first name and last name being filled, the email address, the phone number, and, the message subject and things there as well. So this is like a quick preview of, you can kind of see there about how it looks. First name and last name, and just a basic contact inquiry form. That will put the contact in the database. So if I use the same ID as one of the contact fields that have been set up, it'll automatically save them on the contact when the submission takes place. And you can add your own custom fields, as I said before, to the contacts, and then have them populate into those fields.
I guess as a really quick example,
I'm logged in as a demo, so you probably can't.
Right. I'll go to this one. I'll get out of here.
Is there one already on the Contact Us page? You can just show us that, I think.
Yeah, maybe here. Yeah. So as an example, this one here is a form that might render with first name, last name. You can, if you wanted to add like additional fields for, like, I don't know, requesting a quote or something like that, You can just simply copy and paste these form rows and manipulate the form however you want. It's basically just a set of tags that create the markup of the form, and then this basically becomes the template for the form for when you submit it and the email notification goes through, and also for when you're viewing the submissions as well in the back end. So basically the entire form design is declared as like HTML in here, and it's used in both the email template and the display of form submissions in the back end as well.
Is that inline validation and as well as on submit, obviously, but like if I type an invalid email address, do I get that notification when I leave the field or when I submit the form?
It does both JavaScript and server-side validation. So it'll do both.
Cool.
We do have a drag and drop form builder cooking for you as well.
Yeah, it's coming soon, but yeah, it's still in beta. We do have a little bit of an initial version of it coming out where you can sort of set some of the properties on that form within the WYSIWYG editor, but it's very much in a beta still. So
Okay, that's cool. So Adam asks when I think what he's asking. So he says, is the price for subscription set at the time of subscription? And will it always stay at that, or is that a variable price? Could they go up over time?
Oh no, so you can change your plan at any time.
I meant like if I pay $99 a month right now, and I sign up and my client's paying that, could that go up to $109 2 years from now or 3 years from now?
Are we going to increase our pricing?
If we adjust the pricing plans,
right?
So we basically do have a policy where we're not going to change the pricing for existing subscribers. So there might be some small adjustments to our pricing over time, but for any existing customers and subscribers, we're not going to just jack the price up and double it or something like that. So we're not going to be doing that. We're pretty happy with where our pricing is at the moment. But we wouldn't be wanting to, change existing plans.
Cool. Could you speak a little bit to the whole, on the Business Catalyst side, it's partner portal, but it's really multi-client management. So if I have 20 sites, how do I take care of them on the Synergy 8 platform?
Yep. So basically we do have a reseller console. Once you fill in that, the apply to become a reseller form, it will basically create a reseller console login for you. And then you'll have, a list of every one of your clients there. And you can just basically right click and log into those accounts. Cool.
After Jane, you asked about white labeling. That was kind of covered extensively earlier. But the quick answer is no. There's no ability to white label at this point. I felt you had pretty good valid reasons why, but the answer is no.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Sorry. We do understand that a lot of BC partners have built businesses around white labeling it and stuff like that. But
and Bruce asked again, how many tags to learn with the API? Again, I think we kind of agreed on 10 kind of core and then a number of other that are more specific to a specific use case. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Adam says he saw a reseller agreement that we cannot upsell subscriptions. Did he read that correctly?
I'm not sure, probably.
So could I, if I pay you $99, can I charge that out at $199? Is there
I wouldn't have a problem with that, provided you're, giving an extended service, I guess. Because we don't really white label, we're really trying to, show Synergy 8 as a product. And we wouldn't want to have that situation where your client then feels like they're using Synergy 8 and then comes onto our site and then goes, hey, we could get it for, a different price to what you're charging us. So I would probably recommend, if you're upselling it like that, it would probably be best to use the standard pricing, but then have additional items for the service that you're providing.
So have hosting as Synergy 8 and then have support as an add-on, if you will.
Yeah. I would recommend that, because you just don't want that sort of situation where the client then contacts us directly wanting a different pricing plan to what you're offering.
A pretty standard thing would be a Synergy 8 partner would be, so the client would be assigned to you as a reseller. So you would be getting commission based on their monthly, their monthly hosting side of things. You'd then be the point of call, if they had any questions about how do I add this cool new page or something like that. It's still on me and the team to keep your site like secure and the software up to date and stuff. So yeah, if you go on holidays and the hosting goes down or something like that, we have very, very good uptime. But if that was to happen, that's our problem to fix, not yours. And then, as part of, I guess, that arrangement, it would probably be expected that you would say, I'm looking after you and providing digital strategy services or, design services or, extra help or something like that. So, we charge out at, X dollars a month or something like that.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I do believe it does. Yeah. Ray, I think he's trying to be funny. He says, what happened to Synergy 1?
We got eaten by Synergy 2, unfortunately.
There you go. Bruce asked a more specific question about white labeling. Could you white label the workflow notifications or the emails that go out, or are they gonna have Synergy 8 in those emails?
Are you talking about our billing emails, about how we bill the client?
More the automation emails. So if I buy a product on a forum and I get one of the automation emails, how is that branded?
So the automation emails, or all of the emails in the system, will normally use this default email design. So you have the ability to define whatever you want in there. As far as the sales invoicing side of things goes, I believe we have like a couple of tools for swapping the logo out and some basic customization stuff in there as well.
Yeah, in terms of like the templating, if you're using our templating, it might say something like powered by Synergy 8 at the bottom, but yeah, we don't have any restrictions on you removing that at all. So it's just
I think that answers the question. That's good. Can you speak a little bit more about support in general?
So I guess we're trying to support all of our partners as best we can. We have had a huge number of inquiries since the this business catalyst situation. So we are trying to actively get through all of those as fast as we can as well. We are thinking about creating a community forum as well, so that way we can have a bit of a community discussion around some of the problems that partners might be facing. But yeah, we're certainly trying to keep on top of them as much as we can. We're here to support partners. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm at overload level yet. Most of the partner reseller applications and stuff that come through, I'll see them, and I'm still at the point where I'm going in and having chats with everyone one-on-one and stuff. So I wouldn't say I'm overloaded with that sort of stuff at the moment at all even. So I'm still able to jump in and say, check out this article and point people in the right direction and that type of thing. I'm still having one-on-one Zoom sessions with some other Sandpile members and stuff as well. So yeah,
cool. And what are you doing on forums for spam bot protection?
That's a really good question, actually. So Synergy 8 has fantastic bot detection. So as part of our analytics, what we do is we drop through a JavaScript little file onto the client, and it actually has some stuff in it to try and detect some human interaction. So a user must move their mouse or scroll a little bit before we'll then identify them on the server as being a valid session. So we then use that in combination in the forms tool to identify which clients are bots and which ones aren't. So we've got a whole lot of heuristics that basically go on to say, hey, this user has submitted a fake field on the form. They've failed our human JavaScript detection stuff. They've filled in some stuff about, SEO or something like that in the form, and a few keyword analysis things that go on. Basically, I would say we have out of the box 99.9% spam fully eliminated without the need for you to use a captcha.
Nice.
So yeah, it's basically, it's a pretty solved problem for us now. So if you use one of our form tags, you'll basically not have to worry about spam bots.
Cool. So Bruce clarifies, I'm not sure I'm asking the question right, but I'll read his verbatim. It's form autoresponder emails, not form sends and file uploads. He's looking for the white label notification thing for form autoresponder emails, not form sends and file uploads. To me, that was the same thing, but maybe you see something different.
It's okay, Bruce. I think I've got your contact details, mate. I can
Yeah, we might follow up on that one. It might
okay.
have some specific questions. So I'm not sure.
I'm gonna say that, like, in what case is the email like not branded or anything? If you go on submit in the
bottom, it might say powered by Synergy, and in the bottom of the form submission notification.
Oh yeah.
I can't even remember.
When you submit a form, in the code that you've used to develop the form, if you've got on submit auto respond, and you're sending like this form submission, so the user completed these details, I'm sending it to an admin, I believe that message is a Synergy 8 branded template, and it does have like...
Yeah, I can't remember. Look, we'll follow that one up because I'm not sure.
I can't remember if that's Synergy 8 branded or if it uses the default, to be honest. I think we rolled it over to use our own branded one because it was neat in every situation. So
anyway, we'll follow that one up.
Cool. And if you can reach out to Bruce there, he's got some more questions about forms, and it's probably good if you just answer them directly like that. That's cool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
If you could, I think we kind of run out. I've run out of steam. So if you could just one more time, how people can get a hold of you, and then we'll close her down.
Yeah. So our email address, probably best one, is support@synergy8.com. We do have a form on our site for inquiries as well. And yeah, we also have that reseller application form as well at the bottom of the reseller page on our site. So yeah, they're probably the main touch points.
Yeah, I have also infiltrated the Facebook group and the Slack, so I'm around in there. You'll see me pop up. So I am kind of around in those communities and stuff as well. So yeah, feel free to reach out.
Nice.
Well, thanks heaps for having us, guys. Yeah, it was good to connect, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns.
Excellent. And I'll have the recording processed and up probably by about noon tomorrow. If there's any parts you missed or want to rewatch, it'll be there. Thanks very much, guys.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. Well, we'll leave it there. Talk to you later.